Welcome to Joe Rogan's bunker. This is a road episode. I'm on the road currently. I think this GoPro's recording. Yeah, I'm on the road currently. My setup is really bogus right now. I'm here with the one and only AJ. I want to make a pun out of your last name, but that's rude.
You're gonna say likes dick?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's everybody.
it's cool. I've heard it before, but it's not.
It's Leidig.
It is funny. It's Leidig,
Leidig.
but I've heard the lick dick before.
Yeah, I didn't think that'd be too new. If you know me, you know I have a penchant for finding tall white boys that have European descent and have a crass sense of humor.
Yes.
Alex, if you're seeing this, you have your work cut out for you. You might be out there on the road with other folks right now, but just remember that I always keep a tall, horny one on me.
A tall, horny white?
Yeah, tall, horny white on me. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, welcome to another episode of the TMG podcast. I do have AJ Leidig with me. He's been opening for me in Chicago, and that's not a sex thing. That's a comedy thing, and he's opening for me here in fake Milwaukee. We're in the lovely township of Brookfield, Wisconsin.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, AJ.
Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, when this comes out.
Yeah, man, you're going to be a dad.
Yeah.
I mean, you already are. But,
No, I'll be a dad on the day
Day.
of. Yeah. No, man, it will be my first Father's Day. But this year has been very hectic, so it's kind of going to be just a family day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to really make it about me. But what do you know about being a father?
What do I know about being a dad?
You barely lost your tail.
Yeah, dude. I'm hoping not to be one anytime soon. No offense. I'm sure it's fun, but I'm trying to stay away from it for a little bit.
Yeah, no. I don't think you should want to do that right now. It's very expensive to do that.
Yeah. Did you, if you don't mind me asking, when you had a kid, obviously you're scared. I feel like everybody is a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Did it ever get to the point that you were like, hey, man, I don't know if I want to be a dad anymore? Like,
no, I mean, every parent has that moment where they go, fuck. I don't think it's, I don't want, I mean, there are plenty of dads that don't want to.
yeah.
But me personally, no. The only,
Shout out, Dad.
yeah. Did your dad leave?
No.
Okay.
No, he's still around. He's doing fine.
Okay. I never had like you have days where you're like, fuck, I don't want to be a dad today. Yeah. Because it's just tough. But overall, I mean, it's always positive. But you'll get there, dude. You don't have to worry about this right now.
Yeah, I'll be a dad at some point.
Yeah, AJ's a young whippersnapper. We are a full decade apart and change.
Yeah.
Generationally.
Well, we were talking about that back in Chicago, too, because it's like your crowd is half millennial, half Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
And the humor, I honestly think, is not that different.
No.
Like, young millennial humor is fun.
Yeah, I have my feelings about this are I think they're pretty similar because both grew up pretty online. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of crossover between us. I really don't get weirdly I get a lot of TikToks of like older people like smashing on Gen Z and I don't know. At least humor wise, I think we're not that far apart.
The only thing that got me on Gen Z was during quarantine when everybody was like playing like the Hunger Games theme song with them like marching up to the Capitol, but like just a green screen in their bedroom. And I was like, hey man, this is all we gotta stop doing. That was the one time I turned against my generation where I was like, we can't be doing this.
Wow. Well, every Gen Z listening to this is about to hate you. So
yeah, but then they got me back with the LeBron songs.
Are you a big Bronny?
Yeah,
You're a Bronny head?
I'm a bronzexual for sure.
I mean, because explain bronzesexuality to me. I'm not going to pretend.
Yeah, I think it started genuine of just like every sportscaster ever defending LeBron.
Yeah.
And then it kind of became a meme. And now for real, there's just like TikTok edits of people like singing remixes to Fergie songs with LeBron in them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is actually pretty fun.
I see those, I'm familiar with bronzesexuality. I know, I feel like I see it, but I'm definitely on the outside.
Yeah. It's a spectrum.
Yeah.
They should add us to the flag, honestly.
I think you're already up there.
A little stripe.
Yeah.
We're already on there.
LGBTQ. IA+.
Yeah, dude, it's our month.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, you're a young guy chasing comedy in Chicago. How has that been?
It's all right. Chicago's a very old city. So it's like there's a lot of comics that have just been around for forever.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them are cool about it. Like we were even talking when you were in LA, like the old heads out there. A lot of them are like cool mentor figures.
Yeah.
But then there's also just as many that you're like, man, they just hate anything that's new and anybody that starts doing something fun.
That's everywhere. I think
Yeah.
people just naturally get grinded down and then they just stop having fun with it. Yeah. But that's good, man. So this is your first, you said you're finally full-time comedy this year.
Yeah. Finally hit full-time comedy, which means I'm unemployed and things are going good, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to tell people it's like I lose less and less money every month.
That's good.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Because it's like it started as losing a bunch of money and now I lose like $100 and I'm like, I could deal with that.
As someone who's young, you've observed me for a couple of days in a row now. What is something that you think I am out of touch with?
Ooh. Is this like a tell-all to the people of Noel Miller of being like, this is what I think you're out of touch with?
Yeah. I'm just curious.
I
feel like this is a more interesting podcast conversation than, the isms.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, okay. What you're out of touch with like Gen Z?
Just anything.
I don't feel like a lot because I feel like you are also on the internet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where it's like that is most of young culture now is just living on the internet.
Yeah. I think we're all weirdly, maybe it's just a matter of opening your phone.
I'm sure you're not as brain rotted as
the rest of you.
Yeah.
I can't be. I wish I could be as online as you guys.
You can't be a dad and be
super brain rot. No, you can.
It's bad.
Clax, MCB.
Fair. Okay. You kind of got me there.
Yeah.
You could be a brain rot dad.
I mean, Clax is hilarious. He's a brain rot dad for sure.
Yeah.
Super funny guy.
I get scared of like, is that going to be your generation of parents?
No, I think what's, I don't know. I think our generation as parents might, I think it's going to be half, get off the computer, go outside and do something.
Yeah.
It's going to be half of that. I think the other half will just embrace it all the way. I mean, I think it's probably more all the way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents, they just dump the kid onto the iPad.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't see you being an iPad dad.
Nah. I mean, I'll let him look. I let him look now.
Yeah.
But just on the,
I'll let him look is crazy.
Yeah.
Like you're showing him porn, but it's really just like Angry Birds.
No. I can't, you can't get him horned up yet, man.
Yeah, I know. When
was the last time you wet the bed, speaking of?
Actually, I've never drunkenly wet the bed or thrown up.
That's good.
Those are my claims to fame.
That's a good track record.
Yes.
I have, I had one, like light pee-pee as an adult. Yeah.
Okay. Were you drunk or was it just?
No, it was just like too much water before sleep and very, very inebriated.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it was like, and actually I created a nightmare for myself. I've told this before, I think, but basically, yeah, that's another thing. I had a wet dream also, and both times I was taking a piss in a toilet in my dream. So now I have this weird thing.
Were you sexually attracted to toilets?
Yeah, I want to fuck my toilet. I see the hole in my toilet. I'm like, I got to fill it up. In my dreams, I fear a toilet. So
really?
if I see a toilet in my dreams, I try to wake up. Like the toilet is my Leonardo DiCaprio from Inception.
Yeah, it's become your trigger.
Yeah. When I see the toilet in my dream, I'm legitimately going, remember your training, and I'm trying to wake up. Trying to kick myself out of the chair. So, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Do you think you're connecting pee with the wet dreams at all? Like, or is it just the toilet?
Man, I wonder if it just at a spiritual level, if there's any liquid in there, maybe it's like tapping my lowest chakra. I
don't hate that.
Cause you know that, right?
No.
Do you know anything about chakras?
I should be more spiritually educated than I am.
I would have thought, you would have dabbled.
I'm not a chakra guy.
Okay. Well, I'll get you on board.
Can you explain? I actually am interested.
So, and again, if you know a lot about like Eastern philosophy, Eastern ideas, I don't give a fuck. No, I'm kidding. I'll try to recall this to the best of my knowledge. So your chakras usually they are connected with like levels of consciousness. So your base root chakra is connected to your like sexuality and like pleasures.
Okay.
And it's supposedly behind your genitals, depending on what you are.
Right.
And the idea of raising your consciousness is literally trying to push the energy up your chakras.
So in other words, you're trying to raise your sexual energy.
Yeah. So by that logic, I guess every time you jack off, you're giving a part of your
seed away.
Spiritual IQ away.
Yes.
Because that's how it works.
Did you ever do like the semen retention? Were you guys ever on that?
Yeah, I mean, everyone at the studio is on semen retention.
Yeah.
Retemption. Yeah, with the M. It's different. It's different. We do semen retention.
It's contractually obligated that everybody that works.
Well, no, semen retention is where we try to change the temperature of the semen. So it's traditionally warm, but we try to make it a bit more cold.
Yeah, you're just doing ice baths.
Yeah, because we want to harden the balls. That's the ideal.
We're gonna harden the balls.
Yeah,
we're thinking harder balls, harder dick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once you harden your genitals, and just for those out there, this is just some more stuff we learned down here in Rogan's basement.
Yeah. Anyway, semen retention.
Yeah, so semen retention, you want cold, hardened balls, ideally. It's kind of more optimal. They stay close. It is a way to combat the natal industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you don't have to, like, because how people freeze their eggs.
Right.
You don't have to pay for that if you do semen retention.
You can pre-freeze them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can pre-freeze them naturally and keep them in your body really for life.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready to go.
And then whenever you go, they thaw out a little bit.
But to answer your question, I think I've inadvertently practiced retention.
Yeah.
But it's just more, I think that's part of, because there's that whole discussion about how we over intellectualize stuff now, and I think the whole semen retention thing, I think that's a natural part of just getting older as a dude.
Yeah,
like I gotta stop beating off. I gotta actually like do things today.
Yeah, I can't beat off at 2 p.m.
Because when you're not that I want to be but I think as a younger dude, like you just have more time and you're wasting it.
Absolutely.
So then you just kind of wake up one day and you're like, I gotta fucking keep it in.
Yeah, I gotta do stuff with this time.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, yeah, absolutely.
I think that's it. But so inevitably, you're going to practice semen retention.
I did cold showers for 1 month, and all it made me want to do was stop showering.
Yeah,
because it like trained me to hate showers.
Interesting.
And I would like not shower for so I was like 16, and I would like not shower for like 2 days and be like, what am I doing? Like,
yeah, this is so funny that. Yeah, so it just encouraged you to be stinky.
Well, there was a point, I don't know how much we've even talked about this in the last couple of days, but like I was heavy in crypto.
We talked about it a little bit, but I think it is I think it's very relatable. I think a lot of people your age got wrapped up in it.
But it wasn't even like I wasn't like into it. The thing that like I got into like Discords and Reddits where people were like, hey, there's this huge influencer. They have a cult following. They're dropping a coin. It's obviously going to do well. And then I would hop in on like a Gary Vee or a Logan Paul thing.
Interesting.
And they did do well.
And you were how old doing this?
I was like 19.
And you ended up, I mean, I don't want to give away.
I made a bunch of money and then lost all of it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't lose. I bought a car, which was cool.
What car did you buy?
I bought a Hyundai Elantra.
Hell yeah. So if you hustle on crypto, you could get an Elantra.
You get a 2017 Hyundai Elantra.
That's actually, I mean, that's a great purchase.
Truly.
Yeah.
It was the smartest thing I did. Was I was 19 with $100,000 and I was like, all right, I'll cash out some of it, buy a car. That way, like, I'll at least have somewhat of a jump start, like, because I'll pay for it in cash. But then I think the problem was once I pulled out the money, it was no longer like a video game.
Yeah.
Because I had spent it on something real. And then I got the yips.
Yeah.
Where it was like every trade, I was just checking 24/7, being terrified.
I mean, what was that like for you? Because obviously this is like an experience that I don't have.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very unique to your generation. Like you're 19, you just made $100,000 off crypto. And you, like you said, it feels like a video game. Probably doesn't feel real.
None of it was real.
Yeah.
There were points where like, I remember being at like family Christmas because I would just bring a laptop everywhere. I still kind of do, but I remember like pulling out a laptop, moving around like $10,000, closing it, and then like going back to watch my cousin open gifts and just not even thinking about like.
Yeah.
There was one point, my first apartment, which we had to move out because we got cockroaches, and just to set the scene,
roaches with 100K in fucking Bitcoin.
Just to set the scene, I was 100K Bitcoin with a brand new Hyundai Elantra and fucked on a cockroaches. And
so the story of crypto really isn't that much different than a regular job.
No, it was pretty much the same. It was really, which I could have not had roaches. I could have got a better whatever.
Yeah,
I was with me and my roommate would like just have parties most nights because we were just in the suburbs like with nothing to do. And at one point, I like had my like desktop PC, like my build in my room in the apartment. And I remember we had like a bunch of people over. I got really fucked up. And then like my buddy Johnny was like, hey man, Cardano's going to take off. Like that's the new, because he would just get drunk and talk about crypto. And I was like, I don't want to talk about this right now. But then 2 days later, he called me. He was like, do you see Cardano just 10x'd? And I was like, fuck, I wish I would have put money in. And he was like, dude, you did. And I blacked out and forgot. I moved $5,000 in the Cardano drunk, turned it into 25K overnight.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I get drunk and lose money on slots and whatnot. But back then I was making.
Do you think this gave you a gambling habit?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
But now I'll do it in like $10 increments.
Okay.
And it's fine.
Hey everyone, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, HelloFresh. Summertime's the time to actually do stuff, whether that's tackling home projects, getting outside, or just relaxing. The one thing you don't want to waste time on, figuring out what to eat. Isn't that right, buddy? HelloFresh makes it easy to skip the grocery store and get meals on the table fast, so you can spend less time cooking and more time enjoying your summer or spending time with your son. Their new ready-made meals are heat and go, chef-crafted, flavorful dishes ready in just 3 minutes. Every HelloFresh meal uses high-quality ingredients, including seasonal, fresh produce, proteins that travel from the farm to your doorstep, and are simple with easy-to-follow recipe cards. Choose from 60 recipes every week, plus 100 plus market items to add on to breakfast, lunch, and more. Delivered right to your doorstep and so flexible that you can pause or skip whenever you need. Isn't that right, son? My son is so excited that I'm going to get HelloFresh for me this summer. He can't eat it yet, but he's mad at me that he knows I'm going to get HelloFresh and he will not get to have any. But he does like to watch me eat it because I cook fast and then we get to play. You can make your summer enjoyable and delicious by signing up for HelloFresh at HelloFresh.com/TMG10FM and get 10 free meals with a free item for life. That's HelloFresh.com/TMG10FM for 10 free meals and a free item in every box. HelloFresh.com/TMG10FM. One per box with an active subscription. Free meals are applied as a discount on the first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. You know, I just realized that because, anyone that tours with me, you get indoctrinated into obscure billiards rooms and pool halls. And in the Midwest especially, they inevitably have chintzy little slot machines. And I just realized that, last night you go, I haven't hit the slots yet. Like you're fucking 55.
Yeah, like I'm on a cruise.
Yeah. I haven't touched the slots yet.
Listen, man, they got me. And there's a casino in Chicago too, which is fun. But like the gambling thing, it's not as fun. Crypto was fun because it was like you make money passively, which sounds stupid. But like I'd just be sitting out at dinner and be like, oh, I just made $200. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now I have to like sit at a machine and do that. I'm like, this is too much. This is too much work, man. It's funny that slot machines are now. I'm like, this is too much work, dude.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Do you think you're going to be more susceptible to gambling after this? Not that this is supposed to be a life crisis episode, but
this is just an intervention. We're not even recording.
No, I mean, I think you're, it goes back to the thing we were talking about the other day where functionally like you and people your age are experiencing like unique scenarios to your generation, I think.
Yes.
Because even if I did what you did, I'd still be significantly older, If I made $100,000 on crypto, I might have been broke before already. So that $100,000 I may have like used differently.
Yeah, you would have like known the value of it.
I wouldn't have fucked my life up like you did.
Yes, absolutely. Hey man, all credit. Absolutely.
Not necessarily true, but I think. Well, and I think you are like others where naturally you I don't know, crypto looks like such a video game and possibly such a ladder out that you just make me think, I wonder how many other people your age got wrapped up in it and have a similar story where they got video game money.
But the only problem is now, and it irks me a little bit because like I used to be that kid at like 19 where it's like, I barely work out anymore. I don't mess with any of that. But then like anytime I talk about crypto on stage, it does a lot of times attract like the worst crowd.
Interesting.
Where it's like 5 dudes will come up to me afterwards and be like, hey man, I know you said you lost all that money, but like, how do you make it? Like, how do you get into that kind of thing?
Oh, tough.
Like, come on, man. That was like the whole story was the fact that I think this is a bad thing.
But I think that speaks to where everyone's at right now.
Yeah.
I think...
I get it. The economy shit. Everybody wants to make money, but...
I think it feels like this swirling succubus and everyone's trying to just get a ladder out. It's tough, dude. But that's why I think the experience is, I think, more valuable to people than maybe you realize.
Oh, the only other fun crypto thing I got for you. Okay. So I did bring up Gary Vee a little bit. Mm-hmm. That was another one where it was like, I was in Discord chats and everybody was like, Gary Vee's putting out an NFT. This is going to hit because his audience will buy this.
Right.
And I was never like a huge Gary Vee fan, but I was like, yeah, these kids will buy this, right?
Yeah.
And so I bought in. That was actually my biggest win ever was the Gary Vee, where it was like I put in, I think $3,000, turned in like 30. Like It was really cool. However, then it was like he did this thing, which was a fine gesture, but he was like, if you if you own one of the NFTs, you get to go to VCon. Did you ever see like the videos from VCon and everything?
I saw a couple.
Hey, bro. I went.
You went to VCon.
I went to VCon. I was doing stand-up at the time, and every stand-up comedy friend was like, you went to fucking Gary Vee's? I was like, I went for Wyclef Jean, who did not show up.
That's good.
TLC, who did not show up. And as all of this was happening, by the way.
I didn't realize he promised all these like huge 90s artists.
90s artists.
Wow. And you were interested in that?
Dude, I love TLC.
You guys really are like, you guys use our shit.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
We've really like gentrified a lot of like millennial art. And like
so
this is Gen Z now.
Bro.
We've really taken all that.
You listening to TLC being like, I'm going to VCon. You should just get into Tony Robbins at that point.
No, dude, it wasn't. All right, here's my point. I went being like, oh, it'll just be like a bunch of kids smoking weed and then going to the concert, right?
Yeah.
It was not that. It's honest. I'm not shitting on it. It was really sad. It was really like, it was a bunch of like 40-year-olds that like were clearly trying to quit their jobs via crypto.
Yeah.
And they would like bring their wives who were like pretty unsupportive the whole time.
Yeah, naturally.
And then it got to a point where it's like the artists started canceling and the conference was just not good. Like all the keynotes were like not like, I think Logan Paul was there and like was very clearly high on stage. And then like the conference started going bad enough that I remember like checking the price in real time and just seeing it plummet. Like in real time, you could see people selling their tokens and going home.
That's really good.
And you're like, oh fuck, this is getting bad.
That's really good.
And that was like the first bad omen before I like lost everything. Where I was like, oh, this is getting. I met Gary Vee.
How did that go?
You've met him before, right?
Virtually.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was like a line
where he does those goofy like, ask me anything.
Yes, it was that.
What'd you ask him?
Hey, you don't even want to.
Yes, I do.
You don't want the story?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. So I went because I was like, the line's short.
This is hysterical.
I'm here. I might as well meet Gary Vee. And so I get in line. I start going on my phone, whatever. The woman in front of me is like this like older black woman, I think also from Chicago.
Okay.
And she's doing Uber right now and like also a part-time gig because I remember I'm talking to her a little bit in line. And then she gets up to Gary and just immediately breaks down in tears and is like, I quit my job because of you. I'm having a kid. You changed my life. I reunited with my parents. Like every
positive thing that could happen to a person.
Every positive thing that could happen. And it was like, he even started like tearing up a little bit. And it was just like this really cool emotional moment. And then she got a picture and just left. And then they were like, all right, man, you're up. And I was like, it was a really hard follow. And I tried to like make a joke to him where I was like, who are you again? And he goes, I'm Gary Vaynerchuk. and just froze me out. And I was like, I think they had given me like a free hoodie when I got in there. I was like, thanks for the hoodie. And he was like, yeah, man, do you want a picture? Like, it was the most cold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which I don't think he was being a dick, but I think it was just like, I was clearly just like a douchey 19-year-old following.
Yeah, so you didn't ask him anything. You didn't ask him like,
no,
what should I do? Because he has a lot of those clips, right?
He has a lot of those.
Where someone goes, I've been at the same company for 3 years and I'm not sure what I should do. And he's like, you fucking idiot.
That's another one that okay. Well, this is a larger conversation, but like I've heard him talk before about, because I feel like most of his advice that does well is either quit your job or drop out of college.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've heard him talk before, and all of those, like Grant Cardone, all of them are like, well, I'm not responsible. Like, I put out a bunch of content.
That's all right.
Is that your auto shut off?
If you're watching on video, we have a bit of an odd setup today, so we might have to rock out.
We can rock out audio?
Yeah, I think we might have to go audio from this point.
Audio only at this point?
I apologize, gang. Yeah.
And what are we going to put up on the screen is
what's
the still image here? I do have a picture of me and Gary Vee if you want.
Yeah, we should do that.
That could be fun.
That could be great.
If you want me and Gary Vee, I will set it.
You and Gary Vee, and then, I don't know, me as something. I'm not feeling very creative right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll let the editors decide.
All right. So I feel like they are like, oh, we don't take responsibility for our fan base, what goes popular. But it's like, at a certain point, doesn't that, I don't know, like stan culture, we do that too, where it's like, if an artist following starts like telling another artist to kill themselves online.
Yeah.
At a certain point, we got to hold the artist responsible a little bit, right?
Yes. No, those guys are completely full of it. And like we, I've learned that how these guys work, they when you try to put the heat on them, they want to do your podcast and they want to collaborate with you to kind of finesse the beating that they may receive from the public for what they're doing.
Yeah.
So they want to chum it up with you and say, we're all friends, right? I'm not that bad. And they try to humanize themselves. But yeah, what they do at the end of the day is like...
I'm honestly really starting to hate that because it feels like the politicians are doing it now too, where they're like, oh, but like I'll go on these silly comedian podcasts and then I'll show that I'm like a nice guy. And it's like, no, you're kind of a sociopath, actually.
Yeah, man.
This doesn't like make it better,
Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of... that's how you get ahead, dude. You got to be an evil motherfucker.
A little bit.
Yeah. So... unfortunately, then, you never got some world-class advice from Gary Vee, so that's why you're doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Because if you asked Gary the right question...
he wouldn't have told me to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would have told you to...
he'd be like, hey, man, you're going to end up in Brookfield. You gotta, you gotta get out.
He'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You made $100,000? You made $100,000 and you're asking me you know what the fuck to do. My voice is fried, ladies and gentlemen. I've been dabbling a little bit in... the activity of fumar. I'll put it that way.
What is
Dr. Fumar. Call me that.
Dr. Fumar?
Yeah, it's the Spanish verb to smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Fumar.
Okay.
Call me that.
I just laughed because it was a Dr. Umar reference.
Yeah, no, I'm Dr. Fumar.
Dr. Fumar.
Doctor to smoke. Yeah, I've been dabbling, so I can't quite do my Gary Vee.
Yeah, dude, the death doink.
Death doink.
Death doink hit me hard.
Look, not... because I'm a big... speaking of being... I get weird now because now that I have a kid, I'm all sensitive about like what I talk about, what I do, and what I promote to people.
Yeah,
and I think weed is. I don't want to tell you to smoke weed.
No.
I don't want to tell you what to do with your life. I think that's a lot of responsibility. I will say, if you're gonna smoke, handle your shit first. I think that's number one.
Huge.
Gotta be on top before you go and celebrate. That said. We did consume one of these infused. It's like, how would you describe it, man? It's got like Thanos stones in it.
Yeah,
like they fucking pulled one out of his glove and they smashed it into a million pieces and they, sprinkled that all over the weed and they rolled it in a joint. They sold it to us for. I don't actually. Shout out Teddy, you got it to us for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did it say on the thing? Activation time.
It said activation time 0 to 60 minutes. 0 is crazy.
That's why I was laughing at you. Fucking yeah. AJ smokes it and he goes 0 is crazy.
0 is wild.
Activation 0. Instant.
And then Tom, dude, I like took a hit and it hit hard immediately. And then Tom like shows the packages to me. He goes, look, it's got pesticides in it. And I was like, what? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. It passed a test for pesticides. Yeah. Like, why the fuck would you do that to me, dude?
Putting the word pesticide on the side of your product is a risky play.
Yeah.
Just even putting that idea in your head.
Oh, also, what was the video you sent me last night? I watched like 2 seconds of it.
Oh, it was the Smart Schoolboy 9.
I'll watch it tonight because
Yeah, you should.
I couldn't do it last night. I was like,
oh, yeah. No, that's a scary one.
The flash warning came on. And I was like, nah, actually, this is really all right. Did you ever watch? This is another like cultural, generational thing. Okay, brain rot wise, you used to get high, and then you watch Salad Fingers, right?
The fact that you guys are on Salad Fingers is so nuts to me.
Well, I feel like the R version of that was "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared."
The R version?
No, the R version.
Relax, dude. Yeah. What was it?
Did you ever watch "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared"?
Don't hug me, I'm scared.
Oh, those were great.
Let me pull this up, dude. It doesn't sound familiar, so
it's like Muppets but with cannibalism.
Oh, let me see.
It's the only way I know how to describe it.
Don't hug me, I'm scared. No, I never watched these.
You've never seen these?
No. I'll have to check this out. Pure cinema. Yeah, these are incredible.
They're like the Kendrick Lamar of YouTube. They make like one every 4 years and then dip.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing it. You know, there's another one like this. What I've mentioned his channel before. Pilot Red Sun. You ever watch these?
No.
These are incredible. Pilot Red Sun, folks. We'll watch these after. I mean, incredible animator. He makes music as well.
Sweet.
But yeah, so anyways, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. That was your Salad Fingers.
Yes, but also we had actual Salad Fingers.
Fun fact about Salad Fingers. Mm-hmm. There is that documentary I sent you, or the YouTube documentary. It's so funny. You used to have to be a production company to make a documentary.
No, you could just...
Yeah, now everyone just makes them.
Just got to download iMovie.
Smart Schoolboy 9, he was like a TikTok user, a terrifying one, but I think people made the connection that the creator of Salad Fingers somehow knew this guy. It'll make even more sense when you watch it, but that'll be a fucked up connection. Ooh. But yeah,
same Salad Fingers cinematic universe,
kind of.
Okay,
yeah. So you would watch Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
I'd get high and watch that, and it was a bad idea.
Would it? I mean, because you were what? You were afraid.
Yeah.
You never smoked weed out of an apple, did you?
Oh yeah, of course I did.
Okay.
First time ever, actually.
Okay. And you know what? I'm curious, man. The earliest recollections, folks, you have of smoking weed out of an apple. Candidly, my friends would do that. I wouldn't do that. It just always looks disgusting. It just looked nasty.
That's also, you were like, you've never smoked out of an apple, and then you're judging me for? Come on.
No. I wasn't judging, actually. I was actually asking because I didn't know if that stopped.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm
just messing with you. But did your friends ever eat the apple? Was that like a tradition?
No, and you know what? My friends, like the friends I had that smoked weed, as a teenager, I didn't like really grow up in like a religious household, and weed was never really shamed or anything. I just didn't have like a keen interest in it. There was nothing motivating me to smoke weed.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this speaks to just how my brain works in general, but like whenever my friends would go smoke weed, or like friends I had in high school, they were like, we're going to go smoke, I just wouldn't care, and I'd just walk away.
Right. You're like, yeah, this isn't important. I can leave.
Yeah. So
unironically, that was me with cigarettes for the longest time. Just no real interest, because I was like, oh, my grandparents do this. This is weird.
Yeah. No, I never had friends that would eat the apple. But honestly, it doesn't... I guess a bunch of weed smoke going through it, it probably is a stinky...
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, it's a stinky apple afterwards.
Taking one bite, but I had a friend that like religiously would eat the whole apple.
Because... I
think he like thought it was like a voodoo thing where he's like, we're going to have a bad high if we're not.
Right.
Like using all parts of the buffalo kind of thing.
Yeah, you gotta treat the game with respect.
Yeah. I truly think that was it.
What do they call it when you like hack up a deer after a hunt?
Oh.
What is it? Oh my God, dude.
Carve?
No. what is it? Okay, let me. Term for handling of hunted animal. Field dressing.
Field dressing. Okay.
Yeah, you got to field dress your apple after you smoke some dank ass kush out of it. What time does this show start?
Oh, I have no idea. I forgot. Why did comedy clubs do this where they're like, "Oh, we'll start at 6:30"?
Yeah. By the way, folks, we're we have to do a show in literally 10 minutes.
Oh, you didn't even tell them. We really went with the lie of we're in Joe Rogan's bunker right now.
Yeah. No, I like
which is where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're in the green room. Yeah, we're about to do a show in the lovely. We've been on a tear. You know, we had. I was. You know, I said this on stage, but I was really happy that I got to have any stops in Chicago because I wasn't planning on coming back. But yeah, put up the dates and people were like, "What the fuck?" So I was like, "My bad." So AJ and I did. We did 2 nights at Zany's. Love doing Zany's. And then now we're out here in beautiful Wisconsin. And
Chicago is hot.
Yeah.
Do you like Chicago as a city?
It's fun. I just I'm good. I'm good after like a couple nights.
Yeah. You're like, I don't need to live here. I could do.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fun to get around and, and all that. But yeah, it just, I think, and that's just because of like, I'm used to where I live.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that with everywhere. Like, I just want to get home after a point, but it's whatever. Yeah, we're probably going to have to dip in a bit to do the show and then we'll get the rest of the podcast. This is, I'm really taking you through the gauntlet today. I'm showing you what a day in the life is like.
This is a day in the life of Noel Miller?
Yeah.
Okay.
An hour of pool,
Podcast.
Yep. Knock it out.
More
Back to back, more podcast, back to back. Yeah. It's fun.
It's a pretty fun day in the life.
Yeah. Are you enjoying it?
Honestly, yeah. It's a good time.
It's been a good week. We've had, unfortunately, I wish we ate a little bit better. We've been eating a lot of club food.
That is true.
I wish we had some like good restaurants to report back. But where do we even eat?
Where are we going to eat?
We've been eating straight garbage. What was that? Sweet Diner this morning? That was pretty good.
That was solid.
Yeah. Shout out to Crash Dummies.
You hit Golden Apple in Chicago.
Did have Golden Apple. That was very good.
That place is good.
That was very good. Nice little diner spot. Yeah, nothing really that special. I'm bummed too because I really wanted custard.
Yeah?
Yeah. You ever had custard?
Yeah, but you guys keep saying cops. Is that
with a K?
With a K.
Yeah.
Never been.
Maybe we'll get some on the break. Maybe we'll eat some in the rest of the podcast.
We come back, just jump cut.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
The video's back. We have custard now.
That is 1,000% what's going to happen. It's been good to be out here though, because I've wanted to. Honestly, it's been great having you open too, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a great time.
Yeah. Just, we make it sentimental towards the end of the first half.
That would be, we get real cute. And then we come back and we're like, all right, back to Bitcoin.
Yeah, back to Bitcoin.
Back to Gary Vee, dude.
I just can't wait to see this image of you and Gary Vee.
Have you not seen the picture?
No, don't show it to me. I don't want to see it until the final render.
Well, have you seen me young with hair?
No.
I had like shoulder length hair.
Oh, what?
It's me with like shoulder length hair. In like I think I had gotten a hoodie from it's me in like a Gary Vee hoodie with him.
All right, now I kind of want to see it.
And he looks pretty not happy to be there.
Yeah. Does he do like 1,000-person meet and greet?
I think so. It was really.
How many of you were in line?
I hopped in line when there was like 4 people because I was like, all right, I'll go check this out. But also it was in the Vikings stadium.
Crazy.
And they brought in like a Ferris wheel. Which I was like, hey man, we could all it's crazy that like you invest your money in something and you show up and there's just like an unnecessary Ferris wheel for like the 40-year-olds.
He says he wants to like own the Jets or something.
I've heard that is the goal.
Yeah.
No offense, Gary, if you're watching this. He's not watching this.
No, feel free to say whatever.
No. Also the camera's off.
Yeah, I was gonna say technically no one's watching this.
Dude, he the speeches at the beginning, like the keynotes, are so mega church-esque.
Yeah, that's what they all are.
Yeah,
they're evangelical.
It's like uncomfortable. You're like, people are like jumping out of their seats and like throwing stuff. And you're like, I don't.
No, I mean, he's fully preying on people like in their hope.
Yes.
1000%.
That's exactly what it felt like. Because every single person, you'd like meet them for 45 minutes and they'd be like, here's my business, here's what I'm running. And they would just be like punishing you with like, here's everything I'm doing. And then at the end, you'd ask one question where you'd be like, oh, where do you live? And they're like, well, I can only legally live in these 5 counties because my kids, I got to stay away from them. And you're like, whoa, like.
Oh, was it a lot of like burnout guys?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all people that are doing horribly but have like a lot of hope for the future.
Wow. That's good. You know, I'm glad Gary's the one talking to him.
Yeah.
Is Gary doing a good thing then by babysitting those guys?
Maybe. Maybe it's almost like, you know how some atheists will like view religion as like, oh, but at least you have like a reason to be a good person in this life.
Yeah.
It's like maybe that's their...
Yeah, maybe Gary is like a weird free rehabilitation program.
When you're there, it's not that far off from like a church.
Yeah.
We're like, this might as well be a cult. This is pretty scary.
Well, I mean, bro, it's funny that, you know, we should talk about this in the second half after the show. We'll pick it up after the show. But I want to talk about, because not only did you make money off crypto, but you were a door-to-door salesman.
Oh yeah, we didn't touch on that.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, maybe, you know, I think, you know what it is, bro? I think the American spirit, we all just want to sell something at the end of the day.
Really?
We're all just conditioned. I'm joking, but
okay.
I'm being ironic.
I was like, I hated sales.
No, I'm joking. I don't think. Don't let the shareholders know that you don't want to sell anything, dude. All right. Don't let the shareholder people know you don't want to sell anything. We're gonna put you to death. All right. That's gonna be the new metric. Instead of like burning witches,
yeah,
we're gonna burn people who don't want to sell things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burn them with a stake.
What do you mean you don't want to sell something?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You got to sell something.
Yeah. That is really wild, though, that because I never even stopped to think about who's at a Gary Vee conference. I just thought they were like Facebook people.
It's a lot of that.
You know,
it's very like, it's older than you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, I thought it was going to be douchey college kids. It's not that at all.
Well, I don't think it. Yeah, now that you say that, and I'm trying to think about it critically, maybe it's not douchey college kids, because douchey college kids are the ones playing it like a game.
Yes.
Like they might see Gary's advice and think it's like stale.
Right.
Where they're going like, dude, whatever. I just put money on this influencer and fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't think about it that hard.
Right.
And it's like these Gen X guys going, yeah, no, you're right, Gary.
This is a movement.
Yeah, I gotta, you know, this and that. That's wild, dude. You went to VCon.
I went to VCon.
I don't judge you for it. I think it's one of those where has another one ever happened?
I think they've done other ones.
But I think there's going to come a point where VCons just don't happen.
No, there's no way.
It's like you went to a fire festival.
This is Fire Festival.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you made that comp, because it felt like that, where I was like, dude, for real. So they like, it's US Bank Stadium. It's a professional football indoor stadium. It's massive. At one point, I was like, my hotel was like right across the street, and I was just walking around, and then they just opened the doors out of nowhere. And it's like a Astroworld situation of people just trampling.
That's terrifying.
It was really bad.
That is terrifying.
And then you look up what happened, and it's like, apparently Gary Vee put out a tweet that was like, first 100 people in, free merch. And so people were just like, for real, trampling over each other.
That's good, man.
Yeah, it was bad.
He was testing his soldiers.
Right.
He was seeing, you know.
Only the strong get merch.
Yeah, only the strongest receive merch. Yo, we're going to take a break to go do a comedy show. We'll be back.
This week on The Bonus.
I do think solar is a scam. Sales is like bartending for men, where it's like you get into it young and you're like, this is the shit. For $400 a month, you could also believe in God.
Yeah.
Their advice was count trees, because it'll make it look like you know what you're doing.
Watch the full episode by signing up for a membership at tmgstudios.net.